Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me directly through Benji at alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is an internationally syndicated show solely due to the love and support that you all continue to show. We're available across all major podcast distributors, and like I mentioned, people, if you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in because we are delighted to showcase this next guest on our network. And on the line with us today, we have the impressive Bradley J. Franks. And we're going to be discussing Jeff's amazing book, The Death of America, The Insidious Takeover. Man, that is much more than a compelling title. I'm telling you, this is going to be one that you're going to want to pick up. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's a whole host of other places. But while you're at it, check out his other books because Jeff has been putting in some work, man. He has another one entitled Your Day in Court, Using Common Law with Common Sense. He also has At Gunpoint, Whistleblower's Point of View, followed by Breach of Contract, What the Government Doesn't Want You to Know. Again, it's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, but his personal website is a one-stop shop for it all. That's breakscrew.com. There, you're going to gather more information on him, more information on all of his fantastic books, as well as find the hyperlink set up to take you to the purchasing pages. One more time, that's breakscrew.com. And I quickly want to point out the fact that Jeff was brought to us by Stellar Literary Press and Media. So for writers out there listening in, if you need help moving your book you just developed, head on over to stellarliterary.com and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is going to help you do just that. And listen, people, it is an absolute pleasure to have Jeff here on the line. His book, The Death of America, The Insidious Takeover, man, it exposes how our rights are being stealthily rebranded as taxable privileges in a system designed to keep us docile and dependent. Now, this isn't just another political warning, although it is that in part, but it is so much more, okay? It is a chilling autopsy of a nation being dismantled from within. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to reveal who's holding the knife, how they're getting away with it, and most crucially, whether there's still time to stop the bleeding. I'm telling you, man, strap in, get ready. What you're about to hear will change how you see every law, every tax, and regulation in this country. Now, at the end of the day, you can agree or you can disagree with what Jeff has to say, but one thing that is undeniable, there's more conversations that need to be had. And this book is the precipice to doing just that. Let's get it started. Jeff, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, Jeff, listen, man. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here with us. Your book is remarkably compelling. And I remember when we were talking on the pre-screening call, you mentioned that the government may not like some of the things that you have to say. Well, listen, man, I'm here to tell you through People of Distinction, we are eager to hear all about it. Not only this book, The Death of America, but your other books, because they seem politically or governmentally charged, right? And very opinionated in some strong stances. And we're looking forward to delving further in all of it. So once again, thank you for writing the books. And thank you even more for being here with us to discuss it all. First and foremost, I believe, before we go into this amazing book, it's probably best if we start off by learning a little bit more about your background. So let's start there. Tell us more about yourself.
Well, I don't even know where to begin other than I graduated in 1983 from high school. I lived with my dad for a very long time and helped him. And he had information that he needed to get out, and no one would listen to him until I put it in writing. And I've been a correction officer. I've been worked in the medical field for a while. I've done quite a few things.
Perfect. Well, listen, Jeff, given your background, right, you are closely tied to a lot of the issues that you talk about in the book. So let's jump right in, man. You frame America's decline as a shift from right to privileges. Well, listen, I'm curious to know that. I mean, that categorization, I think, is something that I believe has a lot of validity. Well, I'm curious to know, when was the pivotal moment when this transition became irreversible in your eyes?
The day that my dad and I went into the county building and asked a simple question. What laws would we be breaking if we built our own home as an owner builder? Their reply was none. Okay, so we built our own home. After that, we decided to delve into politics. I ran for county supervisor twice. He ran for Congress once. And they weren't really all that receptive until the last time I ran for county supervisor, when my dad explained to me that there was a major problem going on with a major company. And he didn't know how to even pursue it or how to put a stop to it. But I just looked at him, I said, "What's the problem?" And he told me, and I went, "It's time to go public." And I went public with it. We went from city hall to city hall, county building, and explained everything. And all we got was laughed at. But yet we were followed by the FBI. We were literally prosecuted for something we didn't do. And I just, at that point in time, I just said, enough's enough. I mean, where's the protection of an American? I'm an American. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm an American. I was born here. I didn't come from another country. And unfortunately, they treat Americans worse than they do U.S. citizens. They don't listen to us. But yet, we've got enough information to actually bury them with their own facts. And that's what basically my standpoint was. It's like, these people don't want to listen? Fine. I'm going to get back at them just as much as what they took from us.
Jeff,
but it's not a revenge thing. It's just a right thing to do. So I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for everybody else.
Jeff, you describe the death of America in your book's title. Well, I'm curious to know, man, is that bold statement metaphorical? Or do you actually believe that the nation's founding ideals are actually gone?
They're gone. They are gone. Every right that we were supposed to have been born with, the right to travel, the right to freedom of speech, everything that you can think of by the Constitution, not under it, by the Constitution, which is a contract with the people, from the standing government as it is now. They are taking our rights and making them into privileges and saying, "Oh, now you have to pay for them." That's the death of America. We don't have rights anymore. They're now privileges. And I'm sorry, but I was born to be able to have freedom of speech, to travel however I wanted to. Within reason, I understand. However, the individual states and the rest of the country doesn't see it that way. And the bureaucrats and the politicians are literally eroding everything that America's actually what they stand for, and what our forefathers actually meant.
Okay. Well, continuing along continuing along these lines and operating from that understanding and that perspective, who benefits the most from the system, and how is this system enforced?
Well, let's just put it this way. If you don't take orders from a cop, cops just shoot people. I mean, I've seen that literally by myself. I've witnessed it. I've had people in California literally pull out a pair of sunglasses and were shot to death by the cops. Sunglasses, for Christ's sake. They weren't pulling a gun. They just shot the man in his own driveway. There was, I've seen, even up in here in Minnesota, 16-year-olds taking videos of a cop or the politicians or whatever. They take action before they even know what's going on. And they don't care. They just shoot. Kind of hard for a dead person to tell anything, isn't it? Dead people don't talk. But through me they do. Because I'm tired of the BS myself. What are they going to do? Shoot me if I pull out a cone?
Jeff, listen, I'm telling you, man, this is some powerful stuff. People, again, it's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble. Check out his personal site, breakscrew.com. It's there on the screen. There's no avoiding it. This is a book you need to pick up. And while you're there, remember, this book is only one. Okay, he has 3 others that you're gonna want to check out, man, and hopefully a lot more on the horizon. Okay, because it is something remarkably compelling, and you can understand, right? Just looking at the titles, you can see the connection there, and you can start to draw a through line as to what the topic is at hand. And I'm telling you, it is very compelling, it is very powerful, and it's one that you need to add to your shelf. Head on over there, see what I'm talking about. Jeff, my follow-up question now that I have for you, man, if all of this is happening, and listen, I'm not denying that it is, right? Because I'm right there with you, and I'm a firm believer, so, you know, you're preaching to the choir here, but why do so many Americans seem unaware or even complacent by all of this, right? That is happening. Is it by design, or are we just really complicit in our opinion? I mean, why isn't there more of an outrage about what is happening right now?
Well, the people that I've talked with, throughout my life, they're concerned. They know what's going on. They just don't know how to stop it. They don't know how to say enough's enough without getting their kids kidnapped by child protection services or something used against them, put in jail for speaking their piece. Literally, they are threatened. I'm in a position where the government, hey, they can threaten me all they want. I have nothing to lose. Nothing. I don't have children. I don't have a family. They can't hold anything against me whatsoever. That is what other people are actually proud of, the fact that what I'm doing for them is because they can't speak for themselves. They're kind of being held as a hostage within this corporate government. I'm not a hostage. I'm just pissed.
Well, listen, man, it is people like you in books like this that really go a long way and are imperative towards helping educate others. And this is why it was a delight to have you here on our network, man, because again, I truly mean it. There is so much information here that can really help so many others out there. Well, my next question now that I'm curious to know, in your mind, Jeff, if we continue along with this current trend and it continues unopposed, what does America look like 20 years from now?
Have you seen China lately? How about Russia? We're about to become a state that is going to be worse than a communistic or even under martial law. Let's put it this way, how about martial law? Whatever the politicians or the judges or lawyers or any of the bureaucrats issue a word, I mean, we're going to the point where there is no freedom, and every time you take a step out your front door, you're going to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And I hate the green paper god they use. I really do. It is worthless.
Mm.
But that's all we have to use. Because that's all they will allow us to use.
Yeah.
And if you speak out or point out their faults, they seem to want to take and destroy. Unfortunately, they can only take and destroy so much without actually tipping their hands. Other than that, I look for maybe one of these days committing suicide. Unfortunately, I have no inclination of wanting to do that. It's kind of hard when you have 2 bullets in the back of your head.
Mm.
And they call it suicide.
Listen, it will vary based upon the individual and based upon your background, the community in which you live in, and the experiences that you have. But I think one thing that is undeniable is that there is a massive transformation that is happening right now, and it's not happening with a bang, right? It is happening through a silent, bureaucratic strangulation of our most sacred freedoms. His books, man, they all cover some very, very important topic points and things that you really need to get your hands on. So I'm going to say it again. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble. Check out his personal site, breakscrew.com. Remember, this book, The Death of America, was the anchor, but he has 3 other ones that you're going to want to pick up as well. And I trust me when I tell you, man, these are not books just to gather for yourself. They're perfect gifts for you to get for someone else to add to their shelf as well, because once you start to read them and the conversations that you have because of it is really, in my opinion, where the strength of these books lie. Listen, Bradley J. Franks is a name to be remembered, is a name to be reckoned with, and these books, they deserve their day, and I think that day is today, right? Head on over there, pick up your copies, figure out why I say just that. Jeff, this has been a true pleasure, man, an absolute honor. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.